Good morning, everybody. I want to thank Gary and the panel and Dr. Andrew Abraham that is not here today and he's online for giving me the opportunity to pitch today. My name is Dr. Farnoush Fadavi and this is my husband, where are you? And Dr. Arash Aftbai, and I'm founder of Bala Enzyme and I'm president of Bala Enzyme. We both are retired dental surgeon in Southern California. Bala came from years of research at Boston University. We were looking for an alternative to pharmaceutical to get rid of bruising and inflammation after oral surgery. We brought plant-based enzyme into our clinic for past 20 years. And we took the research and clinical data and we made Bala formulation. In 2018, I had an accident and I was severely injured, and that forced me to retire and left me with chronic pain. Since I was very sensitive to pharmaceutical, I used Bala as an alternative. Bala helped me recover and change my life, and it was a motivation for me to use this formulation and my story to give it to the world. And I believe a balanced life is without inflammation, and this is why we name our product Bala after balance. Gary, what do we do? Okay. Perfect. So Bala is the world's first and only nutritional powder mix that is made with patent pending blend of plant-based enzymes, turmeric, and electrolyte that addresses the need for natural pain relief solution. It combines both inflammation relief and hydration in one, is an alternative to pharmaceutical to help reduce inflammation. It has great taste, is all natural, and has zero sugar. The category is vast, and our primary addressable market is anti-inflammatory therapeutic, and our secondary addressable market is powdered hydration. Our traction and distribution is through DTC and brick and mortar. DTC is through our website, Amazon and VitaCost, and sales are higher than last year, 270%. Our focus is on natural channel retailer. We're contracted with Presence Marketing as a distribution, and currently we are distributed via Threshold, Unify, and KeHE. We are in 800 retailer store, and we're planning to be in 2,000 retailer store by end of 2023. Full chain listings, we are at Sprouts nationwide, and we're very proud of it. And Mother's Market, Clark's Nutrition, Bristol Farms, United Market Street, Healthy Edge Group, Lazy Acres, and many other independent stores. And while we were here, we were informed that we got accepted at Earth Fair. So we're very pleased. Thank you. At the Sprouts, we are doing very good, and we are actually moving per store per week 0.7 unit, which our competitor, which is Liquid IV, is not a direct competitor. They do 0.9. So with a lot of money behind them, we believe that we're doing very good movement. Pending listings are Whole Foods, Publix, HEB, Wegmans, Moms, and Erewhon, and some others. We have 47% retail margin with clear path to 60% by 2025. We are projected to have a revenue of 1.8 million by end of this year, which is a 407% increase since from last year.
For 1 minute.
Yes. Our team consists of me and my husband. We do all the day-to-day operation. We are proud to have Ken Sadowski as an investor and advisory board member, and we have other members that you see here. Our seed rounds is for 2 million. We have raised a little over $1 million. We are asking for 945,000. Our pre-money valuation is 5 million. Term of raise is preferred stock, and the fund is going to be used for sales and marketing, manufacturing, demo and merchandising, promotional activities to support the brand. Thank you for listening, and we are looking for a strategic partner to take Bala to next level.
Good work.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Nicely
Okay,
done.
questions?
Let's see, a couple rapid fires on just the product. Is it the 3 SKUs that I have in front of me?
Yes,
All right, and where do you shelve it?
we actually have 11 SKUs. Is that right?
Yes, 11 SKUs, 2 are being on the shelf at the Sprouts, and they're being sitting next to Liquid IV and Sport Hydration, Sport Nutrition Hydration.
And is that, for the people that don't know, is that over in whole body and supplement?
Supplement, vitamin and supplement.
And is it a supplement fact? Yeah, supplement fact panel. Okay. Gross margins. One of the questions was, you get to 60, but that's a couple of years out. 40s feels kind of low for dry powder. How do you move that faster?
Yes, Bala consists of 20 different ingredients. It's very scientific and it's very differentiated. A lot of other hydrations are only potassium and sodium and some sugar. So we do have more expensive ingredients, and it's more sophisticated. And we were able to bring the margins to around 47%, but as the volume increases, obviously the margins will be improved. So with the retailers, the margins are there, but with online e-commerce and DTC, our margins are in 74-75%. Amazon and DTC is much higher. That's only retail, because retail is much more expensive.
There's a little bit of confusion about the revenues for this year. There was 1.8 on the screen. Our materials say 2.1. It says actual, but we're just, not quite halfway through the year. So what are you doing this year? What's the actual projection for the year?
Yes, we're planning to be currently we're in 850 stores. We're planning to be over 2,000 stores by end of this year. We have a distribution and expanding distribution and momentum, and the velocity is great at Sprouts. So we're projecting to do $1.8 million based on the distribution, the momentum, the velocity of Sprouts and other retailers that are coming through. And also Amazon business is increasing month after month. So that's our projection.
And year to date, what's the actual number?
Right now, because we're bootstrapping, year to date, right now is around $160,000 with first quarter. But we're bootstrapping, there's no capital behind the brand. That's why we're here to raise money, and we want to just,
Stop all the.
Yeah, the digital support, there's no digital support. Digital support is on autopilot right now. We're not doing a lot of digital ads or digital support to bring traffic to the stores. We're doing demos and trying to get the product into people's hands.
As you think about moving from, a couple 100,000 last year to plus or minus 2 million this year, to 10 or 11 to 27 to 49, those are big growth. Doable, but help us to understand what drives the growth. Is it different products? Is it the same products? And what's the channel mix look like?
Our focus is going to be 60% retail, expanding distribution, brick and mortar, and Amazon. These are going to be our focus. We're going to be focusing on natural channel, Whole Foods, Sprouts. Target is on, conversation with Target. These are the accounts we're relying on to, grow our distribution and get to the numbers that we, the target that we have. And our Amazon business is, once, we get some capital behind it, it's growing really fast, but it needs more, capital injection behind it. And eventually those numbers are doable. We can hit the targets because the category is vast. It's huge. Anti-inflammation is huge. And, our product being differentiated is not another Me Too product. It has science behind it. It has a story and it's efficacy. It works. And I think, being out there for 3 years, we see that, its momentum is growing, and we put together a strong team in marketing and salespeople that they can execute and help us get to that level.
Got it. And 3 really quick rapid fire. Price point, what does Bala mean, and C Corp or LLC?
We are actually a C Corp, and you want to answer about Bala?
Are you asking what Bala means?
Yeah.
Bala comes from balance, because I had a lot of chronic pain and I was taking that. And I think if you have no inflammation in your body and no pain, you can be balanced with us.
Got it. And retail price point?
Retail price point for the 8-count box, we're $13.99. Yes. And then of course they can sell it by stick pack. And the stick pack is $1.99, and sometimes they have sales 2 for $3. And we were doing so good at Sprouts that they allow us, we launched beginning of September last year, and January, they gave us a secondary location at check stand. So a lot of people are trying all the, single stick at the checkout.
So there's a bunch of questions about velocity. I know you mentioned a 0.7 number, just to clarify, it's 0.7 per week. And which retailer was that?
Sprouts, because
Sprouts.
that's our biggest
So that's where you have the
retailer at
most.
this point, and is a box.
Mhm. And when you're projecting the jump, assuming you make the 2 million this year to almost 11 next year, how do you see the breakout between velocity or return or repeat purchases versus new distribution?
Yeah, the repeat purchase right now, it's 30% and online and in the store level.
30%, did you say?
30%.
Subscription.
Subscriptions are increasing 66% since last year, but this, we got 30% that keep reordering, and reorder also the retailers reorder is also increasing, is about 60%. And I think we're planning to hit 2,000 stores this year. That that 1.8 is based on that. Next year we're going to double that, and the projection is based on the numbers that we lay out for the next year or so.
Well, for example, what percentage of that 10.6 million is direct to consumer online, where you're having repeat customers versus new store
Sure.
fills?
Our focus is retention, sustainability. I mean, we want to sustain the business, but retention is really important for our business. So we want to retain the customers. But next year, we're planning to do 60% brick and mortar retail and 40% online. Amazon is our biggest online customer. And, we're just focusing to do 40% on Amazon on our own website and 60% at the retail level.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just one more quickly around your patent application. Can you talk about the timing of that and how that plays into your capital raise?
Yeah, patent is really important for us because we both are doctors. We've done some research. I've done research in my own clinic. I have clinical study to support and protect my patent. I've worked on inflammation in my own clinic. And the patent was filed 3 years ago. This is the year we're going to get our patent. The patent is around the mechanism that these enzymes and amino acids, the enzymes and electrolytes get absorbed to your body. The bioavailability of turmeric and electrolytes is very poor when you take it. So you need to have a transport technology for you to absorb it. So in our patent, we're using a specific amino acid at a specific dose that will act like a transport mechanism that will help you absorb the enzyme and electrolytes through your small intestine and get it to your bloodstream. And these small molecules, amino acids, are very unique, and they'll do a much better job than sugar in case of electrolytes or black pepper in case of turmeric, because those are not as scientific, and bioavailability is not really great. So this is the differentiation between Bala and other brands. This is patent that is based on amino acid transport technology that makes it unique, and we're getting the patent on the transport technology.
And let me,
Sorry, just to clarify the type of patent, is it a process patent?
It's a formulation patent.
It's a formulation.
Yes.
Patent. And the timing is when?
This year, we're going to get our patent. We filed about over 2 years ago.
Great. And there are a couple of clarifying questions, not on the technology, but on sort of how you talk to consumers. Is the core benefit, if you had to pick one, because there's lots of things it'll do for you, is it about reduced inflammation or hydration or something else?
It's anti-inflammation and reducing inflammation.
Got it. All right. Totally different topic. In several of your years in history, you're EBITDA negative, but cash flow positive. There are a lot of people in this room would love to know how you do that. Or is there a typo on the stuff we
No, we raised money, and we invested ourselves $1.3 million of our own money into the company. So we've been feeding the company, investing and raising money. And this year, we just, because of the growth, we're burning cash, and then we see that building a brand, this is a very cash intensive.
So said
space.
Differently, your operating cash flows are negative.
Yes.
But you finance the difference.
Their financing.
Yes. He's talking to your mother-in-law. All right,
But
got it.
My mother-in-law was me and my wife. So we
That was a joke for Gary. All right. How are we on time? Do we have time? All right.
Well, I'm.
3 minutes.
I'd like to explore a little bit more around the patent. So tell us how that is going to protect you going forward? Like how the value of this patent is going to play out as you grow
Sure.
the business?
The patent, it's everyone, they can copycat or be another Me Too, but it's a very sophisticated, as I said, it's not easy to duplicate, and patent will protect other brands, to take over, make another Bala version of, mixing these enzymes and electrolytes and amino acids. And it will last for a few years to protect us, and it will also bring credibility, and it will bring some brand awareness. We're going to, do digital ads around the patent and make sure people understand this is genuine. This is not some marketing people trying to make a quick buck that made this brand a copy version of another brand. And our biggest enemy, which is Liquid IV, is really, they're a marketing company. They're not really a scientific company, but they have the biggest share. They're over $2 billion right now. We're trying to take share from them, the hydration, because they piggyback on the category that they build, and eventually carve our own niche, which is anti-inflammation, into that hydration category, which is growing and it's really on fire. But the patent will protect other companies who just step in and just try to hijack the idea, or not just change the formulation a little bit.
Efficacy studies, have you done any? Do you plan to do some?
Yes, I've done an efficacy study on gingivitis, which is inflammation of gum. I have a strong literature and support to support my patent. And also, if you Google any of these ingredients, the extensive body of literature supporting turmeric, papain coming from papaya, and bromelain, which is a very potent enzyme coming from the core of a pineapple. Majority of people, when they cut the pineapple, they throw the stem or the core away. That core is full of an enzyme, bromelain. That's the enzyme that me and my wife did research at Boston University. That's a very potent anti-inflammatory enzyme, and that's Bala's unique and anti-inflammatory, comes with that bromelain enzyme. Bromelain, it's something that also I use in my practice. I have some data supporting that, decreasing inflammation. And also, if you Google it, you can see there's a huge body of literature to substantiate these claims and these scientific, anti-inflammation behind it.
Half minute. Any
Last question. Not surprisingly, there's a bunch of questions on how much you're raising and valuation. So 2 parts, you probably have 15 seconds to answer. Are you raising enough? And how did you get to the valuation? It feels kind of rich to some
Sure.
folks.
The valuation was based on the intellectual property, patent, and the space and category, and the potential of how big this brand can be. Our job is just keep telling our story and how vast this brand, the enzyme, plant-based enzymes can be, because we're a plant-based enzyme company.
And are you raising enough?
This is going to be lasting us for maybe end of this year. Is not enough, as this is a very cash-intensive space. We understand that, and this is going to, give us some runway until we go to the next round next year. But this is building a brand. It's very unique. It's very differentiated. It has good margins, and we know that it's going to take a lot of capital. That's why we're looking for partners who can help us to get to that level.
That's a great answer. Good. So you have 3 or 2.5 minutes. Anything that you would like the investors to take away that hasn't been covered, or anything you want to emphasize?
Sure.
And hold the mic, please.
I get a lot of emails from different people, nurses, fire workers and blue workers, hairdressers, and people with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, that they use our brand and thanking me for bringing, all natural, zero sugar, plant-based anti-inflammatory out. And this is a motivation for me. I get treatment for osteoporosis myself, so I have chronic pain all the time. And if it wasn't because of Bala, I could not be on my feet, because I'm very sensitive to pharmaceutical. So these are all the motivation for me to be out there telling my story, and let world know that they can use that as zero sugar. A lot of diabetic consumer can use it, and everybody can benefit from our Bala.
And I want to add something. To me, the true definition of success is having a product that will improve people's life for better, and also bring value to our shareholder and successful business, and eventually make some money for my shareholders.
Okay, nice job, everybody. So you stay right here. Okay, you know the drill. So let's see a show of hands for folks who'd like to have another conversation. And if you have any dental issues, you got a twofer here. So, okay, Elliot is up, hands up. Jamie's hand is up. David's hand is up. Again, sorry, folks, I'm not seeing the screen here. So, okay, no one online. All right, so you 3, why'd your hands go up? Elliot? Oh, yeah.
Really 2 reasons. One is I think the patent's interesting, but the other is this is the new frontier that growing very rapidly as consumers become more aware of the impact inflammation has on health and wellness. And I think if you can establish that, it's there. Not certain that this is really a retail play rather than D2C, but I think you're early enough to explore and have a conversation.
Great. Jamie, you got a mic? Yep.
As well, I'm just intrigued. There's still some questions, but what I would say is that I like how you're going straight after inflammation. And I think if you look at the big world of Tylenol and all sorts of stuff, there's a very big market for this. So I feel that you're on the right space. I like the start of the margins with the sticks category. The start of Sprouts is decent. I think there's an upside. So all that intrigues me to want to meet further.
Great. And let's pass the mic all the way up to David. How about your interest?
So my wife is a holistic nutritionist, and I'm often reminded about big companies like Abbott who produce things like Ensure, which is just garbage. And the fact that you guys are coming at this in a natural way and that the efficacy worked on you yourself and you're getting really positive feedback as an investor is really meaningful to me, because I think as time goes on and as people get more realistic about what they're putting into their bodies, your product will grow.
Yeah, I'd like to just add a quick comment before I ask for some other feedback. I think, this is a classic, you'll forgive, but mom and pop operation, right? I mean, and I think you've done a beautiful job.
Thank you.
I think the package is beautiful. The product is delicious. And I think you communicate the benefits. I also need to say to everybody here, Farnoush, you grabbed me at Expo, right? Is that how we met? Yeah, there's 60, 70,000 people there, and she sort of, and I admire that, right? I mean, if you don't ask, thank you. And, you asked, and that's why you're here. And I love that. So I just want to commend you. It is not my space. That's why my hand didn't go up. And I want to say to the other investors, including online, for reasons other than it's not your space, is there any other feedback why your hand didn't go up? What any concerns that you have? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I
Adam.
got the mic here, Gary. I like Liquid IV just because of how simple that proposition is, just how intuitive the trademark is and what it does for you. And I think Bala could borrow a little bit from that in terms of just focusing what the real high stakes benefit is for its customers versus you read the package, you read the materials. It's kind of like a miracle do it all. And then the last thing I would say is I think you still have to prove your velocity story. And I don't see a lot of those fanatical reviews on Amazon that I would want to see that really kind of promote that efficacy story.
Yes, so get your friends and family to write fanatical reviews, is what he's saying. Other comments? Anybody? Tom? Yeah.
That was a great comment, Adam. I just agree completely. The brand for me, it doesn't really deliver the message. And sometimes you have a brand that may not be at all within brand architecture. But I think this is a functional product. And to me, I don't really understand the functionality through the word Bala. So just something to think about. I love the category you're in. I love that it's powder. Your margins are great. You all are incredibly professional. So there's a lot to like here. And I think this is a fundable business.
Yeah.
Thanks for feedback. Thanks.
Is there anybody online who had a comment you wanted to make before we move on? Or anybody else here?
I think one from my end is I agree that inflammation is going to be a topic that is going to gain a lot of people's interest. I still think it's early days, and I think there needs to be a lot of education done with the consumer. So I would love to hear and for you to think about how do you educate consumers about the efficacy of this product, and how does it compare to things like probiotics, prebiotics, things like athletic greens, and some of the companies that are building platforms in this space.
Great, Adrian. Thank you. Well, listen,
you.
congratulations,
Thank you
you
very much.
guys. That
Appreciate
was
Thank you.